Hi everyone, welcome to the Cavencia Bespoke Space. We're here with a friend of Revolution.
Well, I'm Julian. I'm a general surgeon in private practice.
We're here because you're a watch guy. What was it that got you started on watches?
Well, my uncle used to work in the watch trade.
Ah, okay.
And as a kid, I used to get presents from him every a few months, yeah? And he used to give me Cassios, G-Shocks, which I treasured. And I think that probably started my love for watches, having a timepiece on the wrist. I've been collecting modern watches, or rather in the last decade or so. I first started buying the more affordable brands, Speedmasters, vintage Speedmasters, and then got into the world of Panerai when it was still something to do. Then I had a thing for German watches. I tended to stay away from more mainstream brands,
Sure.
if I could use that word. And I started looking at independent brands.
Well, very true to that fact, what you've laid out before us, there is really just one AP, and this is no ordinary AP. How did you come to acquire this?
Well, this was offered to me by a very good friend and collector. So he happened to have that in his possession, and he knew I was looking for a Royal Oak 39mm, and so he offered me this watch to me, and I couldn't say no.
What was it about the watch that was special to you?
Well, it's a Royal Oak. It's 39mm. It's in platinum bracelet, and the heft of it is amazing. It's a QP, which AP is very well known for.
Sure.
And it's engraved and skeletonized. I mean, what more can you want from an AP?
I cannot argue with that.
Yeah.
Tell me how you got started with the indies.
If I don't recall wrongly, the Jerns were my first foray into independent brands. The first Jern I had was an Octaloon. And then the second one I acquired was this Resonance, first generation Resonance. It's in rose gold, not platinum, unfortunately, but it is a Resonance.
Yeah, and fantastic thing that it's still the brass movement.
Yes,
still.
that's right. Independent brands actually offer a lot more, well, if you would say, value for what they are. They offer a whole new aesthetic to watches that you don't see often in mainstream brands or other brands. They are inventive. They show time in different ways. They keep time in different ways. So that's how I got attracted to collecting independents.
You started off at Casio's, and just as much in the lineup that we have towards the end, we end up with Casio's again. And very interestingly, some of my favorite Casios, the GMWs and the all steel, the all metals.
Yep.
Tell me a little about the importance of collecting Casios still, in amongst everything else that you're after.
I think there's a boy in all of us. We don't all work office jobs, and we do go out and play, and we do need watches that can take what we do outside of work. And these all metal G-Shocks, they hark back to the early G-Shocks, but with a much improved feel, heft, and aesthetic.
They've definitely made a dent in the collecting world. Why do you think they've resonated as well?
These are boys' favorites, right? And the metal makes the G-Shock feel so much heftier. It's got substance, more substance than the rubber or the plastic pieces. You can't go wrong with this aesthetic.
One last G-Shock on the table that apparently went on an adventure with you recently.
This is one of my first G-Shocks. That's a Frogman from, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 years ago. When I bought it, I didn't even know it was going to be a collectible, but apparently it is, to a certain extent right now. I've brought it diving, I brought it to my treks in Peru, Kilimanjaro and Kinabalu, so it's held up quite well.